Hello everyone, welcome to my guide on how to beat every single level in the Japanese exclusive game, All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. In this tutorial, we will be looking at strats and potential power-up recovery spots which will help grant you a time of under 34 minutes as Luigi. This video can also serve as a tutorial on how to beat the game Warpless up to 8-4 in under 21 minutes. Now let's begin. First things first, I'd like to talk for a minute about load times. There are 4 loading points in the run that we take out of our official leaderboard time. They are between 4-4 and 5-1, between the 8-4 axe grab and Peach appearing on screen, between the celebration screen and the title screen, and finally, between the title screen and A-1. Real quick, I would like to go over fireworks in this game. They behave similar to lost levels. In this game, fireworks occur when the last digit of your coin count matches the last digit of your timer. If that number is odd, you will receive 3 fireworks, while an even number gives you 6 fireworks. If the coin count is a multiple of 11, you will get a 1-up alongside the fireworks. In 1-1, grab the mushroom and go underground. In the final room, do a duck jump once Luigi is covering the left side of that green bush. Since you bounce higher off enemies in this game, doing a late jump and bouncing off the second Goomba will make it tough to not bonk on the pipe. Right before the timer ticks down to 397, hold left to set yourself up underneath the first question mark block, which has a fire flower in it. When you get to the fallen Goombas, release B to slow yourself down since you can't bop them. When exiting pipes as Luigi, it will take 7 in-game seconds to grab the flagpole. Even if you buffer jump out of the pipe, it will still only take 7 in-game seconds. If you buffer jump and then release B for a brief moment before you jump to the flag, that should kill an extra second if you are on track to get fireworks. Run off this pipe and do a big jump from the bottom step to the top of the staircase. One 3 is very easy. Shoot these 2 Goombas, then shoot this one past the red paratroopa. If you bounce on this guy as Luigi, you will most likely go over this platform and die. Shoot the following 2 enemies and you should be all set. If you don't slow down underneath these fire bars, you should not have to duck under them. When jumping in between these 2 fire bars, you can hold left slightly to make it easier to time the next jump. While you are jumping here, shoot your opening shots. Upon entering the bridge, release B to slow yourself down instantly. After that, do a full jump and fire away at Bowser. In 2-1, jump up top at the beginning. Just before you hit the ground, shoot one fireball to take out the first Goomba. You can either fireball this next Obama or jump over him. You are going to have to time these next two fire shots perfectly to hit both the enemies on this pipe. Shoot the first one as you are descending, and the second one after you jump again. Shoot the final Koopa Troopa and jump into this wall. Luigi's jump is high enough to where we don't need to use the invisible coin block to grab the flagpole. I am going to go over the two different types of swimming very quickly before we start 2-2. The first swimming type is normal swimming, where it is the developer's intended way for you to swim, a full hitbox with the ability to shoot fire. A unique characteristic about swimming though is if you land on a surface, hold down and swim again. You will activate duck swimming, the second swim type. Basically think of it as Big Luigi's duck jump hitbox disguised underneath his full swimming sprite. This makes it much easier to navigate through tight spots. The catch here is that since you are technically duck jumping underwater, you cannot shoot fireballs. After the first choke point, this blooper will swim to the right most of the time. If he does this, land on the ground and activate duck swimming. Land on the coral towards the top to reactivate normal swimming. At the end, after the last small coral up top, activate duck swimming to make the pipe exits easier to do without bonking. Two 3 is a simple level in the grand scheme of things. Make sure to keep an eye out for flying fish. If a Cheep Cheep appears to be landing right in your path, slow down and let it fall in front of you. At the start of 2-4, Wait under this question mark block until the timer says 292. Once it says 292, advance to the next part of the stage. By waiting there, you will manipulate these fire bars to be in ideal positions, so you don't have to slow down for them at all. After the final lava pits, do slight slowdowns when approaching Bowser so his flames don't hit you. Once you enter the bridge, do the same thing as in 1-4 and release B to reduce your speed. The first half of 3-1 is pretty simple. Just replicate what is shown in the sample video. When you get to these 4 sets of blocks, do not bounce off the Goomba here, as that will slow you down from brushing on these blocks. For the staircase, as Luigi is covering the coin count, shoot your first fireball for the bottom Koopa. (3-2) is a very easy level. After this triple Koopa part, you will want to shoot your fireballs to the music notes here, as this will despawn a third Goomba that would normally spawn at the staircase. Much like 3-2, 3-3 is a pretty simple level. Fireball this Goomba and do a full jump over the first 2 platforms. Fire kill the last 2 Koopa Troopas before the flagpole. (3-4) is filled with Potaboos. Be safe for every single one of them. Don't jump over any of them until they are out of the way. For this third pair of fire bars, slow down a bit to make it easier to sneak in between them. For this triple Potaboo section, wait out every Potaboo. Once the lava on the left side of the screen is about fully gone, shoot your opening shots. (4-1) is about as easy as it gets. Just follow the strategies from the sample video. In the beginning of 4-2, shoot this first Koopa. Duck jump onto the middle Goomba. I personally don't trust trying to fire call these enemies lined up like this, but you can do that too if it's more consistent for you. Take the top route. When you slide off these blocks, make sure you're holding down as you fall, since if you don't, you will not have Big Luigi's ducking hitbox and will likely bonk on these bricks. Just like 4-1, 4-3 is pretty easy, especially as Luigi. Once again, just replicate the sample video. Four is the first castle maze in the game. For the first part, take the bottom route. Then, for the second section, go down bottom. Release B before you land so you don't go too far on the bottom level. You want to use this invisible coin block to make your way up top again. Once Luigi gets to the top, walk to the left for a moment, and then run to the right again. It will be a lot easier to make this small duck jump with a little bit of momentum built up. Once you jump here, shoot your opening shots. Don't be too shocked if your shots don't survive, since there is so much that can cancel them out. 99% of the time, you can slide under this powder boot without getting hit, but very rarely there's a pattern where it is so low that you might take damage. It is so important that in the event of Bowser jumping forward, that you run under him. Not doing so in that case nearly guarantees a hit. Most of 5-1 is pretty simple. At the end, jump on this pillar and snipe the two Obamas after, rather than going under the top pipe like with Mario. Wait until a bullet bill shoots at the start before jumping, even if one doesn't fire off right away. At this spot, do a full jump but hold back so you don't get too close to this hammer bro. Jump off this launcher and shoot two fireballs quickly, one for the Obama and and 1 for the hammer bro. When you get to this point in 5-3, run to the right edge of this tree and jump back to the left for a moment. Wait until there are no bullet bills in your path before continuing. Slow down slightly on the first of 2 elevators to allow the second elevator to rise up. If you stay at the top of the screen, you won't have to make a risky jump down below. At the start of 5-4, fireball this Koopa and then hold down as you fall off the edge here. If you don't hold down, your hitbox won't shrink and it will be very difficult to make it into this hole. Fire kill these 3 Goombas. After these stairs, slow down for the fire bars and Potaboo. Jump over the cannon and release B before landing on the firebar block. This way you can slow down quickly for these last 2 Potaboos. At the beginning of 6-1, jump over the first 2 question mark blocks, so Lakitu doesn't throw spinies. The rest of the level is very easy. Just follow the movement from the sample clip. As long as you are used to sniping, 6-2 is a fairly easy level. Just like in 6-1, follow the sample clip. In 6-3, pay attention to where the bullet bills are aiming so you don't jump or run into them. This is another easy level. At the start of 6-4, hold left on the middle step, then right again upon landing on the bottom step. When you do this duck jump under the fire bar, brush up against the wall and hold left once Luigi meets the top right corner of the fire bar block. On this elevator, make sure you are holding down when sliding off it, since we want the smaller hitbox for that wall. Next, take the top route. When landing on this single block, land as far left as possible, since Bowser's Flame can spawn right in front of you and hit you. Don't try to go under the last Potabu either. The first half of 7-1 is simple enough, but the second half is a little tricky. Jump off this launcher and shoot 2 fireballs quickly, just like how we did in 5-2. For the staircase, land on the third bottom step and then jump over the Buzzy Beetle. I will cover 2 ways to complete 7-2, starting with normal swimming. Shoot any enemies that are in your way when falling next to this coral. You will usually want to go the top route here unless there are fish up top but not in the middle. If there are no fish in the middle but there are some up top, take the middle path. If you're not duck swimming towards the end, wait out all enemies by staying low like I did here. Now on to duck swimming. After falling next to this coral, activate duck swimming. If you swim up top and there is a fish here, deactivate duck swimming and fire kill it before activating duck swimming again. Same thing with this part, if there are any fish in your way towards the end of these bricks, then you can fire kill them. Continue duck swimming all the way until the end. When you get to this question mark block in 7-3, jump over it unless there are fish in the way. Otherwise, bop the red paratroopa. For the rest of the level, pay attention to the fish and dodge their patterns. For the first maze in 7-4, take the top route in every section. For the second part, go up top, middle, and then bottom. I duck slide very early so I don't have as much speed when doing the final part of the second maze. Right before you land here, shoot your opening shots, then slide under the powerup. As long as you have fire, 8-1 is a very easy level platforming wise. Just follow the sample video. At the start of 8-2, do small duck jumps on the opening staircase. Do a big jump onto the bullet bill cannon. When you get to this section, land on this first single tile, and then on the second tile, do a full jump and snipe this Obama. Bonk on this pipe, fireball the paratroopa and grab the flagpole. Don't bounce on the paratroopa since you will fall into the pit. Eight 3 is pretty easy with firepower. If you see any of the Hammer Bros jump, release B until they are on the ground. Then hold B again to shoot and run. to start, but for right plus B plus A. Once Luigi starts moving, release right on the D-pad for a brief moment before repressing it again. Crouch under this fire bar and wait for the potaboo to go down. Bop on the red paratroopa. Once you land on the pipe, do a small jump to avoid taking damage to the green Obama. Sometimes people like to shoot this first blooper in the water room, since it allows for a faster firebar position. But because sometimes said blooper can swim to the right and make it challenging to snipe, we will take the bottom route and duck swim once you land on the floor. Fire kill the second blooper, and once the firebar is pointing left, duck swim your way to the pipe. In the third room, wait until the second Obama emerges from his pipe before running to the right. Once Luigi hits the wall, hold left again. In the fourth room, we have to do a very tight jump under this paratroopa. This may take some practice to get good at. After the two paratroopas, make sure to not jump too high off this platform, as it may reset the maze. At the end of the hallway, fire kill one paratroopa and land on the second one. In the final room, running off the edge here will land you inside the floor. Duck under Bruce. If you jump at the very edge here, you will land perfectly on the pipe. The Bowser fire kill can be tough, because if he wants to move in your direction, you can get sandwiched between him and the firebar. If you do get hit, it's no big deal, as we will be sent back to the title screen after 8-4, and start World A as Small Luigi regardless of our power-up state, leaving 8-4. At the beginning of 8-1, we want to grab a mushroom. First, jump alongside the second set of bottom question mark blocks and then land on the left Koopa. After kicking the Koopa away, reveal the mushroom and land down below again. While standing under the hole, wait until the mushroom meets the middle of the last two question mark blocks before running and jumping into it. Do a double jump out of the power-up transition. Jump over these first two hammer bros. Sometimes these hammer bros can be in really bad spots, and you might take damage. Don't be too surprised if this happens, you'll just have to re-grab in A3 and A4. At this triple paratroopa section, if the first paratroopa is bouncing to the left, slide under him and jump before the middle one. If he is bouncing to the right, jump over all three of them. Land on the left half of this orange pipe and do a full jump to the spring. Bop the two Koopa Troopas and grab the flagpole. When you get to this elevator, stand on it for a moment so it goes down, and then run below these bricks. After that, grab the fire flower. Shoot at this set of 4 Obamas and duck jump over the ones that don't get hit. At the top of the staircase, once Luigi is in the dead center of these 2 blocks, shoot 2 fireballs to wipe out the upcoming red Obama. When you shoot this hammer bro, wait until you are very close to him before shooting. If you shoot him too early, his hammer will fly to the right and it will be in your way. A-3 is another flying fish level. The fish patterns can vary depending on what time you enter the stage at, so react to them accordingly. If enough enemies spawn, the spring next to the flag will despawn, and if you land on it, you will be glued there until the timer runs out. Do not land on a despawned spring. After sliding under this firebar, release B to walk for a moment. You want to wait out this potaboo so you don't risk jumping into it. Hold B again before jumping over the gap. Take this potaboo section very slow. It's best to jump on each pillar here, since if you plan on skipping one but don't have enough speed, you could very well not clear the distance needed. For this bottom bullet launcher, wait until a bullet shoots before jumping. If you jump too early, you could land in front of the cannon and get hit by a troll bill if it decides to shoot. Before the last lava pit, don't jump over the cannon, but rather on it and then clear the gap. That way you don't jump too late to avoid getting hit by a last-minute bullet bill spawn. When jumping under these upside-down pipes, try to do full jumps and bonk into these pipes. If you do it that way, you will land on the ground and avoid potentially falling into the pits by accident. On this last wall, run off it rather than doing a full jump, since the lack of wind makes it impossible to jump directly from the wall to the launcher. For the super jump, release B as Luigi is passing the last microphone at this spot. Right after the second paratrooper lands on the ground, jump off it to clear the wall. For the beginning hallway in B-2, I like to duck swim here as it makes it easier to avoid landing on the ground and possibly losing time. At the end of the hallway, reactivate normal swimming. On this wall, activate duck swimming. Continue duck swimming for as long as possible. Once you get to these coins, there is a small chance that an enemy will spawn right in front of you. In this case, land on the ground to deactivate duck swimming and shoot him. If this next elevator looks kind of low, do not challenge it. It's pretty easy to die from that. After this next stretch of coins, land on the ground to reactivate normal swimming and finish the level. At the start, don't try to jump onto these 3 Koopas since they move really fast. Take the top route. Then jump over this pipe and do a full jump off the first elevator here. To grab the top of the flag as Luigi, simply do a full jump at the end of this tree. At the start, buffer right plus B plus A. As you land on this step, release right and then hold right again upon landing on the bottom step. You want to jump over the top half of this fire bar since if you don't, it will hit you. Land on the left edge of the fire bar block. Then do a full jump. When you're on this platform, don't unduck until the platform is as far to the right as it will go. If you unduck very early, Luigi will slide through the wall and his on-screen position will be far to the right, making it hard to dodge obstacles. Jump over the final fire bar, and once the lava is just about disappeared from the left side of the screen, shoot your opening shots. Remember to release B once you arrive at the bridge to make the fight easier. In C-1, we will be using a pipe glitch to skip most of the stage. On the bottom pipe, position Luigi so his right foot is barely on the pipe in its entirety. Then, very briefly, tap right and then do a full jump. Once Luigi is lined up with the top pipe, hold right and immediately after that, start spamming A to go deeper into the pipe. This is a hard trick that will take a good amount of practice to get good at. At the beginning of C-2, do a high jump off the small staircase to manipulate this blooper to swim away from you. Sometimes the fish can make it a real pain to get through this part. Once Luigi is lined up with the third coin, start pressing left until he is just about on the spring, and then hold right. If you keep your full speed, you will land on the right side of the final tree before the flagpole. For the first landing, hold right for about half of the time that the timer says 385, not a whole in-game second. Shoot 2 fireballs to take out the Koopa if necessary. For the second landing, tap left a few times once the second pair of blocks appears on screen. You won't have to slow down at all when doing your third landing, but for the final landing, hold left while the timer says 337 and again at 335. Hold right once Luigi is about to land on the spring. In C-4, jump on these first 2 elevators and then over the following 2. Wait out this next firebar. Bop the second Buzzy Beetle and wait until this firebar is about halfway up the wall you're standing on. Make sure to hold down while you are falling since you will get hit by the firebar if you do not. Once you arrive at this low firebar, land as far left as possible and jump again. Sometimes Bowser's flames can make it really hard to jump over them, so you want to have as much time to jump as possible. Once the lava is about gone from the left side of the screen, shoot your opening shots. Release B to slow down once you are entering the bridge. After you pass the row of question mark blocks, slow down for a moment and kill the first paratroopa under the upside down pipe. Land on this block and bop the first and third paratroopas. After bouncing off this lonely paratroopa, shoot 1 fireball to take out the Obama and then jump and shoot for this hammer bro, since 9 out of 10 times he will jump. Very rarely will he not jump. Stay bottom and shoot this hammer bro if necessary. In D-2, do a full jump here so you don't collide with the last green paratrooper. Jump to the top path here. You don't want to go bottom since you'll risk getting hit by the Obama. When bouncing off the spring, don't hold right initially if you have full momentum. Hold right again once Luigi is about to land on this block. After this launcher, shoot 2 fireballs to wipe out the hammer bros, if they happen to be in your way. If a hammer bro goes below the question mark blocks, do small duck jumps to avoid any ascending hammers. Land as far to the left as possible on this cannon, as sometimes the tallest cannon can shoot a troll build right as you're landing. Hold left as you land on the spring, since you need to give yourself enough space away from the red Koopa Troopa. The hammer bro that follows can also sometimes jump, so be aware of that. If you have fire entering D-4, do not damage boost through the fire bar. We're going to try and keep the flower to the last room. Once the fire bar is nearly lined up with this lava, start running onward. Slide under the small fire bar and wait for the Podoboo to fall down. The last fire bar can have varying positions also. In the overworld, do a small duck jump on the hammer bro. These 2 paratroopers can be troublesome. If they are both bouncing towards you, jump over the first one and shoot the second one. If they are bouncing away from you, do a big jump over both of them. At the end, slow down a lot, since this level has green Obamas. It will take him longer to go down the pipe. In the final room, take damage to these bloopers. Once you run off these stairs, release right and do small jumps to the top of the screen. Wait on the Podoboo and Bowser, and finally grab that axe. It is time to cover some areas where we can re-grab power-ups if we happen to lose them along the way. Hit this block to reveal the mushroom. Run into the bottom step and do a backwards jump into the mushroom. Jump over this Obama and then the Koopa. The top left question mark block will have the fire flower. The 2-3 grab is really simple. Hit the question mark block and grab the mushroom. Don't try to outrun any cheeps that are coming towards you or the mushroom. 2-4 is also very easy. After grabbing the fire flower, you should be set up to get good fire bar patterns up ahead. As Luigi is under the middle question mark block, hold left and slide while revealing the power-up. After that, slide under these bricks. Next, hit this block and grab the star. Take the middle path and grab the fire flower found in the second question mark block. If you're fast enough, you can use your star power to wipe out these last two Koopa Troopas, but shoot a fireball at the first one just to be safe. The first question mark block in 3-2 has a mushroom in it. Note that this jump in front of the staircase will be a little tight. The only question mark block in 3-3 has a power-up in it. Bonk into the question mark block, bounce off the Koopa, and then grab the flower. For the 4-1 grab, after hitting the question mark block, land on the ground next to the pipe. You'll most likely have to jump over a spiny before grabbing the mushroom. To grab the flower, release B upon landing on the ground. Hit the middle block to reveal the fire flower, then jump off the blocks to the left and grab the power-up. Take the top route after this. If you're small entering 5-1, you'll want to use a star found in the middle of the level. Jump up to these 3 blocks and hit the middle one to reveal the star. Five 2 can be a difficult level to recover in. Take the first launcher safely. The last brick in the top row will have a mushroom. Release B before revealing the power-up to slow yourself down easier. Stay up top, run left, and then back to the right to do a full jump with maximum speed. There is a chance you could jump over this hammer bro and not take damage. Sometimes this next bro will jump to the bottom and it can be hard to tell that until he actually lands on the ground. If you are a big Luigi, you can damage boost through these 2 hammer bros since there are still 2 power-ups up ahead. If you are small, it's best to wait these guys out. Next, the right brick here will have a power-up in it. This single block will also have a power-up. This set of 3 bricks will have a power-up in the last block. The left question mark block will have a fire flower. Go around the right side to grab it. With this power-up, it might be easier to release B to slow down faster before running off these blocks. In this set of 4 question mark blocks, hit the third one to reveal the power-up. Don't try to jump over hammer bros if they happen to fall on bottom. This top block will have a fire flower. For the first power-up, use the paratroopa to bounce into the question mark block. I don't recommend standing still here for the whole time you're waiting, since flying fish can shoot right into you. This single block will have the fire flower in it. Like before, use the enemy to bounce into the power-up block. Jump down to the left side of the power-up block afterwards to gain full speed easier. There is one power-up you can grab in 8-3. When you get to the first pair of Hammer Bros, you want to spawn them, but run back to the left edge of the screen. Give yourself plenty of room on the left side of the pipe so you have a good amount of time to jump on each bro. Afterwards, grab the mushroom, which is located in the second block of the top row. Afterwards, try to preserve your mushroom for as long as possible to the remaining 6 Hammer Brothers. If you enter 8-4 as Big Luigi without fire, play the first room the same way. In the water room, wait to walk towards the pipe until the blooper is out of your way. The fire bar will also be in a good position so you can walk under both. At the end of the fourth room, release B to slow down quickly, then jump over the 2 paratroopas. The A-3 grab isn't very challenging, just watch out for Cheep Cheeps. It's located immediately after the second blooper. The only question mark block in A-4 has a power-up. As you are falling downward here, start holding left so you don't slide into the lava. Since Luigi is a little slow compared to Mario, we will wait until the big fire bar is out of our way before we proceed with the flower grab. Play the first half of C-3 like normal. Once you see the question mark block, start to slow down. After grabbing it, wait on this Obama. To land on this spring, hold left at 322 and 320, 318 on the timer. But this can obviously vary depending on how the power-up grab goes for you. In C-4, wait out this fire bar before hitting the question mark block and grabbing the fire flower. In D-1, hit the 7th question mark block and brush against the pipe to make it above the question mark blocks. Fall in front of this first paratroopa and run under them. After bouncing on this paratroopa, hold back and wait until this hammer bro is nearly on the ground before duck jumping over him. It is very difficult to get by this hammer bro damageless with Big Luigi. The bottom brick will have a fire flower. Buffer jumping out of this power-up grab is your best bet. As long as there are no bullet bills near this brick, grab the mushroom. It's hard to make it through the level without getting hit, but react to everything accordingly. Before the first Protoboo in D-4, there is a mushroom located against the wall on the left. Try to keep the mushroom all the way to the final room so you get hit by this blooper. You will have to take the Obamas in the first room extra slow since you don't have fire. And that's a wrap. That is everything you need to know on how to beat All Night Nippon Super Mario Bros. In under 34 minutes as Luigi. Hopefully you found my tutorial useful for your endeavors. Thank you for watching.